Hey, everyone. Welcome to the What No One Told Me About podcast. I'm your host, Rakita Starks, and I believe that the only way to true success is through self-awareness and leadership. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about running from your calling. Yes, running from your calling. I feel like I'm in that position right now as to what God has called me to do versus what I want to do. I have let me give you a little bit of backstory where I'm coming from with this, because maybe you'll understand, and maybe you'll understand why I'm a little bit where I am. So, but then maybe you won't understand where I am, because you're like, okay, well, where's the faith that you have? Where is the relationship you have with God and doing what pleases Him versus what pleases you? All right. So, yeah, I feel like the world we're in right now, it is extremely lost, right? And the definition of a woman is getting blurred and changed. What women represent is starting to be displayed in media way opposite of what God has designed women to be. And even men at the same time. But right now I want to talk about women. And, I do leadership development, right? And I believe that everyone needs leadership development. Everyone needs to be self-aware. Everyone needs the tools that I have. But I feel like God is calling me to get back to the organization I started called the Shed Women's Group, which is an organization for women to help them develop their greatness spiritually, physically, and mentally. And so I started that organization back in 2017, and I would host events, conferences. I hosted meetups and things like that, and we did vision boards, all these things, and it was a fun time. And I'm at this point in my life, being 35 years old, I'm at this point in my life where I am really gaining clarity of what I see as a friend, or how I see myself, and all these things. It's like this past year was just a year full of clarity and focus for me. And so now that I have those tools, and now that I am clear on what I'm supposed to be doing and who the type of people I want in my life and things like that, I'm now to the point where I value genuine friendships. And I haven't been able to find that, because at one point, really at a lot of points, I've been isolating myself because God has been growing me in certain areas. And a lot of times what you're seeking, you need to become. So I'm trying to look for good girlfriends and things like this, good women to bounce ideas off of, and all these things. But God needs to develop me in that area at the same time, of how to be a good friend, how to be a woman who cheers other women on. And I had to learn that a part of freedom is not looking at someone else's success or lack of success and comparing yours to theirs. I know that there's a lot of people in bondage because they haven't found that freedom. And it's like, do I tap into showing people how I found that freedom, or do I look for people who've already experienced that freedom, which is going to be hard to find. It's going to be hard to find, honestly. So, but I know they're out there. And I know that if I keep praying, God would show them to me and things like that. But back to what I'm saying. What am I saying? Am I running from my calling of restarting this women's group and developing women in self-awareness and leadership? Right? Because, like I said, I feel like everyone needs leadership development and to be self-aware. That would make the world a totally different place. But God is like, look at how the definition of a woman is being changed. Look at how women are carrying themselves in media. What is being popularized and what's being looked at and glorified is the behavior that's totally contradictory to what I've said I wanted you to be as a believer, as a Christian, as a holy woman, as a Proverbs 31 wife, as a mom. And a lot of what's going on is a lot of women, what's being displayed in the media is a lot of people are displaying, idolizing themselves. Like, I'm the prize, I'm the star of this show. I am, like, look at me. Or naked, being out and showing your body is liberating and all these things. But, like, that's not what God says. And people are putting their careers above their family and their household. And so it's like, do I be a light and show and guide people in the gifts that I have and helping people to develop those in those areas in leadership and self-awareness? And I do this through DISC assessments, and I do this through I've paid well over hundreds of $1,000s in coaching, and so I have a lot of stuff in my arsenal that I have grown and developed in that other people could use. It's like, okay, do I accept the calling? Do I accept the calling or keep running from it? I feel like God is saying, all right, you keep running from it. You keep running from it and set yourself back another year. All right, let's see if you're gonna accept it this year. You're gonna run from it. Are you gonna run from it? All right, let's set you back another year. All right, are you gonna accept it? Look like you're gonna accept it? Nope. Oh, all right, back another year. So, that's where I am right now. If you want to know more about the shed, you can go to my website, www.ricketastarks.com. It's RICKEYTASTARKS.com, and you'll see a tab at the top that says the Shed Group, and you can learn more about the organization and stuff like that and why it was developed. I developed that group. I was going through it. Well, I had just came out of extreme postpartum depression, and I didn't know what postpartum depression was, honestly. I just thought I was tripping. And I thought my husband was tripping, and everybody around me is just tripping. But come to find out, because in the Black household, you just need some time alone, or you just have a drink or whatever substance that you would need to use to just mask what you're going through. So I didn't know about the things that come with postpartum depression and the chemical imbalance that goes on in your body and things like that. But when I did identify that I was going through that, and then I started working on myself. I started exercising more because I was totally unhappy with not being able to fit my clothes. I was totally unhappy with my marriage and the responsibilities that came with being a mom, and the heaviness of someone being totally dependent on you, and how parenting will show you how selfish you've been. Becoming a parent will show you how selfish you are, or how selfish you've been. And just having another person being totally dependent on you and getting up all the times of the night that you didn't really want to, but you had to, and just the responsibility of parenthood. And I was coming out of that, and so I was looking for those girlfriends. I had a girlfriend that we would meet up at our local Starbucks in this small little corner, and we called it the corner. And we would just talk about life. We would talk about our goals or marriage and parenting struggles of the day and all these kind of things. And once the corner was, then we started inviting people in. We had 1 or 2 other women come in to the corner where we would talk about stuff and things like that. And we would just, it would be a get ready for the week type of meeting, or get ready for what's ahead. We would meet up weekly and we would just have our moments in the corner. And I totally miss that. I miss that. I need that back in my life. Because you need a group of women who are cheering for you, who understand what you're going through. You can talk to your husband about things. And I talk to my husband about a lot of things. But it's totally different than talking to a woman who has been through things with the same things, or has experienced things, who's your cheerleader. Like, a man can do those things, but it's totally different when a woman is like, yes, you can do it. You know, we get so excited about things. And he's just like, oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's cool. But I'm like, man, we need to be jumping around cheering on this, you know? I know some of y'all women know what I'm talking about. So, yes, that was the corner, and having that was such a gift and a blessing. But I want to bring that back. I want to bring the shed back. And I really need to get out of my own head that everyone needs this, and focus on a specific area. And focus on niching down and saying this is for strong, high-achieving, empowered, and driven women. Like, this is who this group is for. This is not for the weak-minded or people who are gloomy and stuff like that. This is for people who are excited about life, looking forward to what God has for them, and just need some direction or need some cheerleaders along the way. This is for those women. These are for women who are growth-minded. And I just decided I'm not running from my calling. I'm not running from it anymore. I'm going at it full throttle. And we're going to see what the year brings by just accepting what God has for me and what I'm called to do. So, yeah, there's the answer. Am I going to keep running from my calling, or am I going to accept it and pursue it? And today I'm deciding that I'm going to pursue my calling. So, look forward to the next episode of what no one told me about. And really, this is just something no one told me about, that you would be at a fork in the road where it's between deciding what God wants and between what you want. And ultimately, the best direction to take is the one that is leading in the direction of what God wants for you. Get closer to God. Build your relationship with Him. Get clear on what He wants you to do. And you'll see more fulfillment and more success in your life. Y'all enjoy your day. Bye-bye.